Hello friends, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy it. Why don't you go down and hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss anything. For my fans and subscribers, welcome back. Thank you for the patronage. I really do appreciate it. Today's topic, the Bible students. Let's go. At first, Russell held that it was possible to be a quote-unquote true Christian while still being a member of the churches of Christendom, which he termed Babylon the Great. However, after he observed quote-unquote errors, he started teaching that his followers should associate primarily only with other Bible students. Under Russell, elders and deacons were elected, and they kept no membership records. Church discipline was not the right or the responsibility of the ecclesia. Said Russell in paraphrase, "The Lord does not permit elders or anyone else to become busybodies." If a congregant had a problem with another, they were to follow Jesus' advice at Matthew 18:15-18. First, try to work it out between the two. If that does not happen, take 2 or 3 to resolve the issue. Only if that fails are you to tell the church. If they fail to listen to the church, treat them as a heathen. None of this shunning stuff. Russell also believed that there should be a latitude for beliefs, so long as people accepted the fundamentals, that all were sinners, redemption through Christ, and that none could enter the covenant except through consecration of their all to the Lord. Beyond this, there was freedom of belief. Every person had the right to express their own beliefs in an orderly fashion on all doctrinal issues, and they were to be recognized as a brother or a sister as long as they accepted the aforementioned fundamentals. Russell became a dominant religious figure mainly because he had the drive and the money to move forward. In addition, he continued to oversee Zion's Watchtower Society after Incorporation, as well as maintaining control of what was printed in Bible student literature. As time passed, Russell imposed more of his own teachings onto the Bible students because he was convinced that he had found the truth. First, in 1895, he suggested that congregations study the volumes in Studies in the Scriptures. In 1905, he introduced directed studies on topics he set called Berean Studies. Replacing verse-by-verse Bible studies with these topics meant Russell had more control over followers' beliefs. By 1910, he was teaching that studies in the scriptures, quote, were practically the Bible topically arranged, end quote. Although he left the ecclesia to decide what he was doing was very much dangerous. In the January 1913 edition of the Watchtower, he wrote that other denominations, quote, are more or less handicapped by their traditions and creeds, end quote, in interpreting the Bible. What he failed to realize is that everyone has biases in interpreting holy texts, and he was deceiving himself. Despite any good intentions he may have had, a major reason for this self-deception was that after 1895, his wife began proclaiming that he was the quote-unquote faithful and wise servant of Matthew 24:45-47. J.W. Jesus never promised to send someone. This is taken out of context. This is called exegesis, and I have talked about it before. Jehovah's Witnesses are not the only ones who do this. Believe me, plenty of churches do this. However, you need to read the verses in context to understand what exegesis is. Let's take David Splain's talk in the 2019 annual meeting. He was reading Joel, and where Joel was talking about locusts, and he said, are these good people or bad people? Up until 2009, Watchtower was teaching that the locusts were good people. However, he said, and I kid you not, that prophecy is best understood in context. So for 100 years, they have been teaching that the locusts were good people, and lo and behold, 100 years later, they figure out, nope. His followers also gave him the title of Laodicean Messenger. Three Worlds presents the seven churches of Asia Minor in Revelation as being Christ's church in different ages. Thus, the Laodicean church represented the last phase of the church. And no, I don't agree with this. I'm just telling you what they believed. Because Bible students believed that the last phase began in 1874 and that Russell was God's spokesperson, they believed he was, by definition, the Laodicean Messenger, spoken of in Revelation. Russell also had the title of the man with the inkhorn bestowed upon him. In Ezekiel 9, the prophet tells of a vision that had 6 men with weapons and a 7th man with an inkhorn. The 7th man was to mark all who had wept for Jerusalem's sins. The other 6 were to kill those who had not been marked. The Bible students saw this prophecy as being fulfilled in the end times, and they believed Russell was the man marking those weeping for Jerusalem, or in this case, Christendom. Bestowing Russell with these titles, the Bible students were coming up with something resembling the Catholic magisterium of the papacy. During his lifetime, the Bible students had already experienced 2 schisms. One in 1894, which resulted because they thought that Russell was becoming too domineering. The second one occurred in 1908 and 1909 over the doctrinal issue of the New Covenant. Now, I will cover the New Covenant schism. The other schism I probably will not cover. I just can't find anything on it. I don't want to go too far into Russell's marital problems. I feel somehow that it's an ad hominem attack. Let's just say that they were separated in 1897 and legally divorced in 1903. Maria then sued Charles Russell for the alimony that he owed. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this episode. The best way to reach me is via Twitter. Next best is email. Please leave comments in the comments section. Not only do I love hearing from you, both constructive criticism and other comments, uh, it also triggers the YouTube algorithm. So I would appreciate it if you leave some comments below. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Remember to wash your hands and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.